But so far, he's proven nothing but to be loving and completely legit, unlike what other people thought.
Oh, that didn't age well, did it? He's very loving, just not to his so-called wife. He's a massive fan of texting women and showing his love, just not to you, because he can even be bothered to come on holiday with you. That didn't age well, did it? Hello, my gorgeous Lunchables. I am back a lot sooner than I usually tend to do videos, but I know I only posted the other day, but I really needed to react to her BBJ incident because it's something that I've always meant to react to but never did. And yeah, so I want to react to it. I'm feeling quite fiery, so I thought it was a good time to do it because she's an awful animal abuser. And I want to make sure that that's on my channel to show other people how bad she is. If you're new here, I hope you stay around. We're going to be reacting to FoodieBeauty and how she neglected her cats, basically. I'll try and kind of put a bit of information in between if I think maybe you need to know something that you possibly don't know if you're new to this situation. It's going to be a long video. I may even end up putting this in 2 parts. And there's going to be some swear words, so let's get into it.
Okay guys, hi, welcome back. Today's video is going to be a serious matter. And
also, just really quickly, I want to premise the fact that I will not be cutting anything out from her video. If I speed anything up or if maybe there's little clips that she's just repeating herself, I will cut out, but I will tell you that I'm cutting it out. This video is still up on her channel, so you can obviously see the full video there if you want to. I'm not going to be cutting this out to make her seem like she's saying something she isn't. I'm literally just going to be commenting on what she says.
I have my shisha, so I hope I don't annoy you too much, but it relaxes me just like a live stream. I would have my coffee, my water, and my shisha. Okay, so if the shisha noise is something that annoys you, and I want to say also, if talking about this subject is something that annoys you, all you have to do is not watch, okay? Because I'm going to say this once. I see a lot of comments from people saying, just give it up already, you gave your cat away. So that means that I have no right to talk about how something affects me in my life, apparently. So this is something that I want to talk about once and for all. I want to put closure to this situation. I want to have an official video, not just a live stream, which is why I didn't do a live stream. I want to have an official video talking about exactly what happened in a calm, truthful manner. You will see that my story doesn't change because it's the truth. I also need an official video, like I said, explaining the situation, because when it comes to the animal abuse allegations against me, which are complete bullshit, there's different groups of people. There's of course my beezers and my loyal followers who have seen, I've been on YouTube since 2017, and I'll just show you some clips of me and the cats since then on YouTube.
Are you stealing my straw, Sam? What are you doing, Sam? This is why I ask you. What are you doing? You're beezing. These are beezing behaviors. Yes, Sam. Days. Sam. Yes, you. You're a good boy. Oh, yes, you.
Let's start it off then. So at the bottom of that video, she said that, oh, but they've been abused for years, right? Lies. Nobody is saying that you didn't love your cats. Everybody's saying you neglected your cats. You can still love them and not give them everything they need. Like, they weren't being taken to the vet regularly. They weren't being fed when they should be. They weren't going to the groomers to make sure that they didn't have loads of mats, because you're obviously not brushing the cats, are you? Nobody is saying you didn't love the cats. So please stop saying that, okay? You can love something and still treat it like I'll say unintentionally, but it is intentional because you're not stupid.
Strike that. Reverse it.
I'll take that back.
Hey, big boys. Are these beezing behaviors? Hey? Who's a pretty girl? Pretty girl. Are you jealous that I was giving Sam attention? Hey? What? Aww.
Right, okay, so as you can see, she's showing videos of her giving the cats affection. So you get the idea. She did sit with the cats and have them in her bed, and they were on videos a lot. And of course, yeah, they some of the times did look happy. But the way they were made to live was not fair and was selfish and was neglectful. There's no questioning that at all. You neglected those cats. So there was another about a minute of her saying like songs she used to sing to BBJ and how she always talked about BBJ and Sam to her friends and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, she had cats and she talked about them. Here we go.
So as you can see, this is about BBJ. Sam, my other cat, he's about 6 years old. I'm going to be getting him back. I have someone taking care of him. I'm paying for all his needs right now. The next time I go to Canada, I have arranged with an airline to return him with me. And I have found a huge pen with big bedding, so it's very ventilated, very open. It's not a small carrier, and he's going to be sedated. Anyway, it's for me to worry about, you know, and it's going to happen. People bring their pets all the time. So yeah.
The reason she is doing this, and once again, I'm not saying that she doesn't love her cat. I get that she loves Sam. I get that she loves BBJ, okay? The reason that she's making such a big deal about this and saying, actually, we're looking after him and we're going to fly him over and we're going to treat him really well. And like, the thing I don't understand, okay, you've literally known these cats for years and years longer than you've known this man. And at no point were you like, oh, maybe I could fly Sam over. I mean, I do understand BBJ was old. You wouldn't want to do that to an old cat. Sedating an old cat would be quite dangerous. Completely understand. I personally think BBJ should have stayed with Pete or gone with your family. But again, they've got dogs, whatever. You know, you obviously tried that, didn't work, whatever. So you got rid of her. But now you're doing this whole thing just to spite FFG and reaction channels. Like you're making some sort of difference by wanting to spend loads of money that you do not have, by the way. We know you do not have it. And I question whether you were actually supporting Sam and giving this woman money to look after Sam. And the fact that you kept yo-yoing back and forth and being like, oh yeah, I will take him, I will, and no, I won't. And now you're saying you will again because you just want to piss people off because you know how annoyed people will be to see that you've got Sam back knowing that you treated BBJ so poorly.
So that's, you know, whatever. Basically, I moved to Kuwait to marry the love of my life and someone who's very, very good for me after having been in an extremely abusive, toxic relationship for almost 2 years.
Right, so going back to what I just said, she had not known this man for more than 2 months. She'd never met him. She was just speaking on video chat and over the phone every single day. And she decided that's who she wanted to be with like no kind of looking into who he is or thinking about the logistics of the fact that you live with your best friend and you just uprooted him and just sent him packing back to live with his mum because he had no other option, knowing that he had really severe depression. By the way, I'm not saying that she is his mum and she should like have looked after him. Obviously, she paid rent and, you know, she was doing really well money-wise. So I do understand it's not for her to look after him. But it's the fact that at a drop of a hat, you will drop everyone. You know that your mum doesn't like flying. Your mum's not going to fly and see you in Kuwait. And you can't go onto a plane without feeling ill because of how unhealthy you are and how much weight you keep gaining. So you've basically just said bye to your best friend, bye to your family, and bye to your 2 cats that you absolutely adored. You can understand why people might be a bit pissed off about that, yeah?
This person is really good for me. I love him. So I had to make a tough decision. I wasn't sure at the time, do I want to travel with the cats? Maybe it would be better to leave them behind. I wasn't sure. I had to make a fast decision because I was moving fast. I had 1 month back in Canada. I came to Kuwait, got married, came back home, and had about a month to pack up my entire life.
And just an update as well, because I don't know if people are watching this that maybe don't kind of know backstories. I'm going to do other videos about kind of other parts or other segments of her history. But yeah, so she met him, I think it was like late September, early October. She was out there by November, and I think she was married by the middle of November. And she was a converted Muslim, I think. Why can't I speak? A converted Muslim by, I think, January, I guess. And then she came back in February because she can only have a 3-month tourist visa. And she needed to come back and kind of pack up the house, kick her best mate out, and ship the cats off to Timbuktu, basically.
Leave everything behind in Canada to come here in hopes of having a better life with my husband.
Also, she's known for doing this, by the way. Again, just going into other bits of history. She literally chose a man over her dying grandmother. She spent hardly any time with her. They knew that she was coming towards the end of her life, and she chose a man. And surprise, surprise, she's chosen a man over everybody. Again, she's so fortunate that her family still love her, in all honesty, with the way that she is and the things that she's done. I'm so impressed that her family even want to speak to her anymore. And this is what she does. She's just gone across the world. And we all know that it will eventually end in shambles, whether it's next year, whether it's in 10 years. And then she'll go running back to them and she'll just be staying in her mum's bedroom again. And that's going to be her legacy.
I don't know why I'm villainized for that, just because we didn't know each other for a very long time. Love doesn't really have a time. I mean, it's different for everybody, right?
I know my barman more than you knew the man that you married, okay? Maybe that actually probably makes me sound really bad. I don't drink alcohol, but I go to the pub a lot, okay? But yeah, so it's just really, really bizarre.
But so far, he's proven nothing but to be loving, and completely legit, unlike what other people thought.
Oh, that didn't age well, did it? He's very loving, just not to his so-called wife. He's a massive fan of texting women and showing his love, just not to you, because he couldn't even be bothered to come on holiday with you. That didn't age well, did it?
But most people are wrong about me in my life, and that's what frustrates me about it. If I'm happy in my life, if I'm a mess in my life, I should say, they have to pick that apart, and then when I become happy, they have to pick that apart. So there's just no winning. But this is a serious accusation, and like I said, there's different groups of people when it comes to the abuse allegations. There's my beezers who 100% believe everything. They've seen my relationship with the cats. They know I would not abuse my cats. So I'm just addressing these defamatory accusations. Okay. Sorry, some people smoke shisha. Some people smoke cigarettes, 10 packs when they're doing a live stream. Some people smoke weed. I smoke my shisha.
She's literally out of breath while she's trying to be sassy and make a point. It's laughable. You are sitting down. Why are you out of breath?
And then there's people who just are this person who's spreading the rumors. Chinians, those are her fans. We call them Chinians, who just believe anything this person says just because they hate me. Hate for someone will cloud your judgment, and it doesn't matter what I say. Some people are not going to believe me. That's fine. After my video, if you don't believe me, then that's fine. I'm also turning off comments for this video because there are people who just don't want anything good to be true when it comes to me.
It's not the fact that people don't want anything to be good that happens to you. It's the fact that you've been such an awful human being that you think people will just forget it because you're pretending to be someone else.
I'm not 100% innocent, but I'm not an animal abuser. So then there's also people who were supporters and then believed this stuff, and because of that defamation, they are no longer supporters. So again, believing the worst of me.
There were people that liked me until they found out that I'm a piece of and now they don't like me anymore. Is that what you said? Because that's what I heard.
Without knowing the full situation. So here it is. It's complicated. Again, I said when I came back to Canada, I had a month to pack up my whole life. And it was really traumatic for me. It was really, I still dream about the cats. And I wish I had done things differently, but I was cramped for time and I wasn't sure what to do. Part of me was listening to the influence of people as well, varying opinions, like, you know.
She was cramped for time, okay, whatever that means. So she was able to go live every day and get high every day, but she was super mega busy and couldn't figure out what to do with the cats or even how to make sure the cats were looked after properly, i.e. by getting them to the vet. But I'll let her go on. I'm jumping ahead.
No, don't put your cat down. Don't give your cat away. Rehome your cat to someone, blah, blah, blah. So basically the only options I had when it came to the cats were euthanasia for the older one. I'll get to that in a minute. Rehoming or bringing them to Kuwait with me. And I decided that bringing them to Kuwait was going to be, I thought at the time that, you know, it was going to be very traumatic for the cats, because even taking them to the vet was very traumatic for them. They were very nervous and afraid. So bringing myself to the Middle East was a huge feat. And so bringing two cats, and one of them being in their 20s, like 19, 20, she was basically, I had her, I got her 2004, and she was 1 to 2 years, they said, at the shelter where I adopted her from. So she's an much elderly cat, living past life expectancy. Okay, so for her, definitely it wasn't a good idea. Now, before I went to Kuwait the first time, I clipped their nails. I have nail clippers. It was not easy. I had to have help because it was, my one cat, my older cat, BBJ, she freaks out and shrieks very loudly if we touch her paws at all. in any regard, if the nails are even cut already, if they're in good condition, whatever, she just doesn't like it.
What you're going to get from this is that anything that is slightly difficult that doesn't benefit Chantal is not a job worth doing.
Her paws touched, and I don't know if like she's more senile now, but she's become more moody as she's gotten older. I was told by a vet that she has arthritis because she's older. She was developing kidney issues. So I know that someone said that she had a urinary tract infection, which of course is not completely it's not unheard of with elderly cats. They have kidney.
Yes, she did have kidney issues. The best thing is that you had cat litter to tell you that she had like a UTI or kidney issues. So it was the easiest thing in the world for you to see that she had these issues. But at no point did you think, oh, I better go take her to the vet because obviously she's suffering. Because suffering, if it's not your own suffering, you've made it very clear that it's not your priority.
And I knew this. Now, she had a lot of health issues, and rehoming her after having her for so long I thought would be traumatic, and sometimes the humane thing to do is euthanize your pet, if that's the case.
And you then chose to joke about euthanizing your cat on multiple occasions and burying her in the ground in a bag. And you wonder why people got so angry with you just because you go on a live and say that you were just going to euthanize your cat just to annoy people. I can't imagine why people weren't happy to hear you say that. It's bizarre, isn't it?
Doing when I came back to Canada was bringing her to her regular vet, which I did have appointment for, to determine with the vet if that was the best option for her, or if it was okay to be rehomed. So I didn't want to, rehome her to someone who would be taking on all these problems for her, and I didn't want her to go through having to adapt to someone else. And I was a little afraid of where she was going because, truthfully, people can lie all day when you rehome them. You don't know the truth is what happens, and that's what happened to me. I was deceived. I was lied to. My cat was actually stolen, and nobody knows how she's doing today or where she is. So I had to make a tough decision, and it was traumatic for me because I loved those cats. They were my babies.
It's traumatic for me. Yeah, it's traumatic for you. So it doesn't matter about the cats, does it? It's traumatic for you, and that's all you care about. I don't even know how you were allowed to have pets. You are such a selfish individual.
I had my best friend and roommate at the time take care of them for me. He's lived with them for many years, and maybe people think that they could have been better taken care of. There's always people that are going to think that, yeah, their eating area could have been cleaner sometimes. We were both dealing with severe depression and a lot of problems, and we were neglecting ourselves, but they were always fed. I don't know where the story came from, but we started.
The way you said that we were neglecting ourselves and we were also neglecting our pets is what you didn't say, but it sounded like you were insinuating. So what you're saying is you were depressed, so you neglected the cats, but now you're pissed off that people are calling you out for neglecting the cats. Is that right?
They were always fed. BBJ always cries. She's a very vocal cat, and especially as she started aging, she became more and more whiny.
Just like her mother then, apparently.
But trolls and internet haters called Animal Protective Services on us 3 times.
Could it have something to do with the fact that you let your so-called boyfriend come around your house and then he kicked the cat? Did that have maybe something to do with it? Or was it maybe because of the fact that they saw that how badly the cats are being treated, their food area was a mess, they were all matted? Any of these situations ringing a bell?
They came in and each time left satisfied that the cats were not abused and they were fine, which is their job.
That's funny, because your next door neighbours said that you never answered the door to them. So which one is it?
So, yeah, their area could have been cleaner. I will give you that. That is neglectful. It should be a lot more tidy. Most of their lives it was. Like I said, there was a time where we were depressed and even neglecting our own selves.
I understand cats and children are completely different, okay? I'm not trying to say that pets are as important as children, although I personally don't have kids and pets are my everything, but whatever. I understand that. But if you were to hear a mother say, oh God, at some point we were just neglecting ourselves, we just couldn't be bothered to do anything, when they were talking to social services about how they've neglected their children, do you think social services would give any because they wouldn't? And I'm sorry, but this is the same situation. You brought those cats into your house, you vowed to look after them, and you didn't.
I know this video is going to anger a lot of those people because they don't want anything to be true. They don't like the truth. They get angry with the truth. They want their own narrative to be true so that they have content and a fan base to think they're credible people, but they're 100% not.
Great editing as always.
So let's get into this person who has the cat now and is lying about it.
Actually, before we get into that load of bull, let's get into the fact that you got back into the country at, what was it, the end of January, start of February. You knew that you had to be flying out or leaving the apartment the end of February to go back to Kuwait, okay? So you knew, and when you were in Kuwait, before you flew back at the start of February, you knew that the cats needed to go to the vet ASAP. You knew that there was issues. Pete had told you, your viewers had mentioned that BBJ didn't look very well, and you were adamant as soon as you get into Canada at the start of February, that cat will go to the vet. What date did you get the cat to the vet? Oh no, sorry, you didn't get the cat to the vet. FFG actually had to do that. But you were in the country for 3 weeks before you even rung the vet. It's not a case of there wasn't any spots for them to see the cat. You did not even ring the vet. There are emergency cases that can be seen like within hours. So at no point did you ring that vet to get that cat seen. And you wonder why people are so angry with you when you bring up shit like this.
A bit of the history on that, because there are new people here, and that's also why I'm doing this video. New people who come here thinking that I'm an animal abuser, etc., etc.
Knowing.
I think that they deserve this explanation as well. So there's this person, I will not mention their name. I don't want to bring attention to their channel. I know they would love that. And they're probably very happy I'm even acknowledging their existence.
Just to bring it up as well for anybody that doesn't know who FFG is, I can't imagine that you're watching me without knowing who she is. She's got a very successful channel. She has, I think, a third, to be fair, she has a third of the followers that Foodie does. And I think she makes probably about like, what, 10, 20 times as much as Foodie does a month? Probably more than that, actually. I'm not really thinking about the numbers. I just know how well she does because she has got a lot of support from what she did. And the main amount of support she got was from the fact that she actually saved this cat. I know some people aren't a fan of FFG because she kind of says what she thinks, but in this case especially, I don't see any issues at all. I think she did something amazing. But anyways, let's have Foodie tell the story.
That's what they live for. And you may think I'm exaggerating or tooting my own horn when I say that, but if you were to see this person's channel, they cannot have an existence on YouTube, a successful existence, without being a huge lying piece of crap. Their entire content is ripping off my content. So anything I do, a vlog with my husband, simply eating on camera, going live and talking to my fans, they have to use that as their own content.
I really hate it when YouTubers call their subscribers fans. I understand that technically that could be what they are, but it just sounds so pompous. Like, it's just people that enjoy your content, followers, subscribers, whatever, and I just hate it. It just seems so like up her own ass, but she is, obviously.
I sit there like a coward behind an avatar, never showing their face, but I showed it on my thumbnail. And actually, I could see why they're so hateful. No offense. I try so hard not to dig at people's looks.
She was too stunned to speak. That's all you do. That's all you do. You go for these people's looks all the time. And the issue you have is because there are so many problems with you that people point out, that when they occasionally do mention whatever's going on the screen, you use it as ammo and you just keep doing it all the time. By the way, commentary channels totally allowed on YouTube. So you really should just move platforms maybe if you're not happy with what's going on YouTube. Oh wait, no, that's the only way you're able to make any sort of income, isn't it? I forgot.
Someone who's done nothing but make a career out of doing that to me, I can see why they do that now.
Oh my goodness. I'm not even halfway through her video and we're already at 25 minutes basically. So I had to make it into another part like I mentioned, just because YouTube's a nightmare to upload to anyways, and longer videos just can be a real pain. So I'm really sorry. I'm hoping it'll just be a part 2, depending on how much I speak, I guess. I'm really sorry. I hope you like the video so far. I will be posting the second part shortly, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye!